All right, good day, everybody. It is Tuesday, September 16th. My name is Danny Souri. I am the chairman of the Aurora Township Republican Party, and I am here with a newly acquainted friend, if you say, the Chicago community activist himself, Patrick. I am not taking no BS anymore, Gibbons. What's up, my friend?
Hey, what's up, Danny? Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Oh, dude, it's a pleasure to have you. Listen, I've been watching you, obviously, and seeing the work that you're doing, and you have this spirit that that really transcends. And I'm surprised because usually a lot of folks here in Aurora are like, why is this guy so bombastic? Well, I grew up in Morris Park, and I happen to have Middle Eastern blood flowing through me. You are none of those two, but you got the same fire and vigor. It's like, who is this dude?
Thank you.
It's funny. I want to tell a quick story here, guys. So I saw Patrick online, and I sent him a message on Facebook, and I said, "Hey, what's your number?" He goes, "Who are you? What's your number? What do you want?" I'm like, "No, no, no. Wait a minute. I'm a friendly. I'm a friendly. I want to talk to you." And then it was there, man. There's been a lot of action this past week. There's been a lot of noise, and I got to tell you, man, do I understand the fight that you're doing over in Chicago, between Brandon Johnson and his stupidity, and obviously it's been made very clear with the events that we saw in Aurora. This guy, Brandon Johnson, John Lash, they're all puppets. They're all puppets being controlled by other people. And
Yeah.
we saw that this coward of a mayor that we have, and I take that back, this coward communist of a mayor that we have in Aurora, and he's a straight up commie. He hates America. He hates
Mhm.
everything that it stood for. This clown served in our military. He
Mhm.
served. He was in Navy intelligence. He was in Navy intelligence. Now he's
Mhm.
a completely stolen valor liar about what he did there, but that's a whole nother conversation. Um,
Mhm.
I don't understand this, Patrick. How how do we even wrap our brains around ridiculousness like this? Like, how do we say, okay, let's try to look at it from their point of view? I just can't. Everything I see is evil on their side.
It is. The left is so woke, they're out of the ballpark. They're not even the same Democrat Party as our dad remembered them when they were kids back in the 60s. The Kennedy Democrat Party. If John F. Kennedy was alive today, he would be a Republican, without question.
No
The
question
Dem
about
they believe men should go into women's washrooms. They believe that men should be in women's sports. It's just so sick, you know. Uh, and part of the problem too, I hate to say this, but it's true. Too much fighting on the Republican side. We got to be more united, especially after the Charlie Kirk assassination. I feel like we should all come together, you know. And he was a beautiful man, a great man, and we lost something very special in Charlie Kirk. I truly believe that. And Richard Irving, your former mayor, he may have not have been perfect, okay, but he was a Republican. And like the old saying is, the grass is not always greener on the other side. Now look what you have. Because of all the fighting and the bickering in the Republican Party, we should just all stick together. So he hated Trump. Okay, he hated Trump. Maybe he had differences with him. Let's stick together. He's a Republican, right? What did Ronald Reagan said? The 11th commandment, thou shalt not talk bad or talk ill about another Republican, right? We
it.
should stick together. Let's keep our differences inside, and that's why the Democrats win. They don't love each other, but they deal with each other. And that's why they win a bunch of political races,
You
even
know,
though they're so woke, you know?
I want to comment on what you just said, but it's the last part that got me. I want to address first. The Democrats don't work together. I want to correct you. They are working under fear and dictatorship. Because a Republican like Irvin can step out and say, I don't like Trump and I don't agree with his personality, but follows the policy and the rules of the organization. Completely
Mhm.
fine. On the Democrat side, if a Democrat dared to step out of line of their definitive oro that Soros and all those people pay for, they will
Yeah.
eat them alive. You cannot be a Democrat in the Democrat Party and have your own opinion. You will be cast out. But to touch base on what you said as far as Republicans knocking this BS off, I'm going to tell you something. Patrick, I'm new to this. Okay, I'm new to the political game. I was a private. Today is our 100-day anniversary of mine and Dr. Robert Renturia's program that we instilled in Aurora. This
Oh,
breaking
congratulations.
bread. Thank you, sir. Breaking bread, going red, being relational and missional. And I've literally said this in Kane County. I got to tell you, if you start coming to some Kane County board meetings, you'd be blown away.
Okay.
Since we got involved with this method and building our relationships with everyone, people have been starting to put, before Charlie, God rest his soul, put things aside and realize, okay, this is stupid. I sat in a county GOP meeting and I said, let me make this clear. Unless somebody has slept with your spouse or touched your kids, shut up. That's the bigger
Yeah,
things to
right.
worry about. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
it cracks me up when we're trying to win a popularity contest to be the world's tallest midget. At the end of the day, you're still coming up short.
Right, right, right.
Enough.
Right.
Right?
And you got some petty candidates, Danny, like Joe Severino. He likes to rip everybody apart. That's not good. That's not good.
Joe
What we
Severino
want
is
to
a
do,
paid actor.
yeah, you want to focus on the Democrats, okay? That's your focus. Don't attack, because if you attack all the Republicans, what's going to happen at the end of the day? No one's going to like you. No one's going to invite you anywhere. That's
Well,
stupid.
there's more
That
than
you're
that.
shooting
There's more than
yourself in
that.
the foot.
It's more than that because if you're an actual Republican, Severino's a plant. He's not real. Okay. But if like actual people start fighting each other and then someone loses in a primary, your supporters, if you lost, your supporters are going to fall off and then they're not going to vote.
Right.
So what are we beating each other up for? Like it's ridiculous. Like I get it. The thing with the Republicans, there's an extra passion there to really get the job done. But I'll be straight with you, brother. I see a few people, and I'm not going to call names in public, but we're going to have a meeting and we're going to address everybody and make it clear that some of you are in this specifically for a popularity contest, and most of all for your ridiculous little man ego. Yeah, we got it on both
Mhm.
sides. That's true.
Yeah.
But it's absurd. Like I've been watching some of the posts you've been making and some of the people you're talking about for governor. You make some great points on stuff. Some I want to debate you on, just kind of going back and forth on it because it's not a matter of, who we like the best. Realistically, it's a matter of who's going to be able to win
Right.
and who
Right.
actually has the conviction and the integrity to stand in the face of evil. Patrick, I got to
Exactly.
tell you, since I went and I raised, I'm sorry, I lowered the flags to half staff, by the way. I was told by hundreds of people, it's not half mast. You're not on a boat. It's half staff. I'm like, guys, I'm new. Sorry. But there are a ton of folks that have come out and they're sending me message they're going to slit my throat. They can't wait to see my fat ass in public.
Really?
They dox addresses. They put my family members' addresses online and incited a call to violence. Well, Pam Bondi came out yesterday and made some pretty intense comments about that. And I spent
Hmm.
about 45 minutes before our meeting here today on the phone with the FBI. This is going to get fun. You know,
Hmm.
we come out and we stand and we speak on something. The other side's idea is kill them, dox them, attack them, threaten them with death. Now, listen,
Exactly.
I'm not saying
Exactly.
I'm not saying I'm some tough guy from the hard hood of the streets and blah blah blah, but
Right.
it's going to take a lot to kill me with it. You're not slitting anyone's throat. You're not
The
going to scare
Democrats,
me.
what they have hate-filled rhetoric. This woke ideology is hate-filled. Antiva is a hate-filled group. Antiva should be called a terrorist group once
I
and for
believe they
all.
just did that. Didn't President Trump just within the last couple of days designate them as a terrorist group, or are they attempting to? It was one of the
I
two.
don't believe so, but he's thinking of doing that. He's seriously thinking of doing that because this scumbag that killed Charlie Kirk, and I won't say his name because he doesn't deserve for me to say his name, nor any good Republican. He's a
Right.
scumbag. I believe that he should get the death penalty, and he had ties to Antifa. He did, and people should really investigate this group because they use violence as a tool. They use hate-filled rhetoric, and their leaders are Democrat leaders that talks about hateful rhetoric, calling us fascists. A lot of these political hacks calls us fascists. The governor of Illinois compared us to the Nazi Party, and then yesterday, if you remember in the press conference, he backpedals. I never said that. I never compared Republicans to the Nazis. Yeah, you fat. You know
I'm
what I mean?
sorry. I don't know how that man can backpedal without hearing beep, beep, beep in the background. And I'm a fat guy, so I can say it. Let me
Yeah.
pose you an interesting thought question. As of right now, where we're sitting here in 2025, if I told you, Patrick, I had a time machine and I can give you a pew pew, because we're going to post this online, we can't say certain words, right? Because of their algorithms in terms of service. But if I gave you a pew pew and a time machine and I said, I'm sending you back in time to kill Hitler, would you do it?
In a heartbeat.
Right? Who wouldn't want to kill Hitler?
Right.
But here's a problem. You start breaking children in grade school to the point where we have 86% graduation rates and only 14% and 12% of black and Hispanic kids can read at those graduated levels. Even white kids are only at 46%, okay? So you break their
Yeah.
brains there, you indoctrinate them in high school, and then you twist them and turn them into lunatics in college, and you keep saying Hitler, 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 Hitler. These people are Hitler.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you want to kill Hitler?
Right. These colleges, these universities indoctrinate young kids, impressionable kids. They brainwash them with their liberal bullshit, and that's exactly what it is. My dad, he worked 10 years in Chicago public schools. He's a great guy, conservative guy. He would tell you that in Chicago public schools, in the history books, they would have two paragraphs of Malcolm X, who spread his hate, a hate-filled Muslim. That's what he was. Okay, that was killed by his own people. But they would only have two sentences of Ronald Reagan, one of the greatest presidents of all time, I think. So that's where the history books are at. They try to censor us. They try to cancel us because you know there's a lot of cancel culture going around. And when they can't, they use force, they use violence to silence us altogether. And it's very sick and it's very scary. So now conservatives that are public figures, not necessarily me, but I guess I'm getting there, that wants to go to colleges to speak, they're scared now with reasonable, with good reason. So I think we shouldn't be silenced. I think we should keep fighting. I think we should just, if you're a Christian man, believe God is always with you and just, hey, whatever happens, happens. Don't be afraid. That's the way I see it.
You are so not wrong on this. And I'm going to tell you something. I heard this phrase forever ago, and I've repeated it 100 times in my life, and I repeated it, I think, more for vanity than actually saying it with conviction. And that's changed over the last couple of years. And I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees. It's that simple.
Right.
You know,
Amen.
even Malcolm X. We can talk about him for a moment. Malcolm X himself, okay, came out. There's this amazing video, and I posted it and made sure it was legit first because AI is tricky. Even
Yeah.
Malcolm X came out and said the white liberal is the most dangerous person on the planet.
Well, that's true. That point is true.
You know what I mean?
Amen.
So I'm even willing to, even those hardcore people like, and I'll be straight with you, I don't have nearly as much education on Malcolm X to say as much as I would like to go deep on that. But when you still look at someone like that, and they can make that kind of a statement, that's insane. That's like the devil himself saying, "Hey, I'm scared of liberals." That's the devil. You know what I mean? Like these people
Yeah.
are insane. They're whack
Yeah, that's
jobs,
true.
and I got to tell you something.
Back then, they were whack
Of
jobs.
course, but
Yeah.
do you understand something, Patrick? And I really want everyone to hear this. Look at me when I say it right in my eyes. Those are the minority.
Hmm.
Those psychotic people make up maybe 5% of our society, maybe closer to 10, but let's just say 10%. So how is
Yeah.
it so powerful? Well, let's talk about it. It's a coordinated attempt. It's the holy trinity of brainwash. Celebrities, mass media, and Hollywood.
Yeah.
And the school indoctrination. If Taylor Swift, oh my God, she said kill the fascists. Are you kidding me? Like it's absolutely ridiculous. And just to kind of touch on this, this is a side subject here, but I absolutely can't stand Robert De Niro now because of this ridiculous that he become. And I get
Oh
it.
yeah.
I'm having such
Yeah.
a hard time watching some of my favorite movies because although he
Yeah.
was an incredible actor, I'm sitting there
Hey,
like,
for years, I said Al Pacino was a better actor than Robert De Niro. Then all of a sudden, people are agreeing with me right now. Yeah, he is. Well, years before, they didn't say that so much, but now they're all agreeing with
hey,
me. I always thought Al Pacino was better.
you
Now,
know,
Al Pacino is a liberal. He is, but he won't say publicly, "Fuck you, Trump." That's the difference between Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
I agree with you, but man, Pacino better than De Niro as actors? I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to go toe to toe on each individual movie. Then we'll see.
Yeah,
Pacino and De Niro together in that scene in the movie Heat.
yeah,
Oh my
that was
God,
a great thing.
some of the
Oh,
best. That was one of the best
terrific.
dialogue scenes ever. But dude, what is the play? Because this is tonight, and this video will be posted here with plenty of time.
Thank
Tonight,
you.
of course, September 16th, 5 p.m., I'm going to City Hall in Aurora.
Okay,
And I'm
okay.
going to give public comment to this coward that wants to hide and dodge and stand behind his, his cowardly puppet masters. And I got to tell you something. I don't know if you saw the video, but I'm gonna play it here real quick. I got a
Okay.
I got a chance to go do this. I'm just scrolling to it. We've posted a lot on our social media here in the past couple days.
Okay.
But it's at a point where everyone not only needs to come out and stand up, but
Right.
it's time to show people what a good red-blooded American is. Conservatives, Republicans, this whole be nice, be kind stuff. I agree. We should be nice and we should be kind when the moment is right. But there's also a moment to fight. And if we're going to talk about scripture, shout out to the Warriors of Kane County. They're an amazing grassroots group. Patrick, you'd love these people. The day
Okay.
Charlie was killed, I was sitting in my office, festering, brewing, and getting angrier and angrier. And I was about to click go live on Facebook, and I have no idea what I would have said, but I guarantee you I would have ruined my standing as the chairman of the party because there's no way I couldn't justify what I was going to do at that point. They sent out a text message and all call to an emergency vigil. I've never been to one. I've never stood around a bunch of white people praying. Okay, but I got to tell you, those people saved me that day. They legit because God's grace. I've never felt His word hit me like that before. It's so weird. I hate to be cheesy with it, but dude, I'm a grown man. I'm pretty prideful, and I started crying in front of these strangers.
Yeah.
It was literally that saving grace. But I told them that I said that day as we were all talking prayers. You guys are bringing up all these different stories of the Bible, and they're amazing. But I can't help but focus on David and Goliath.
Amen.
That's simple. So I'm going to play you this video. I'm sure you saw it, but I'd like to get your take. Let me share the audio here because I know we have to do that stuff. Here we go.
Okay.
Share. You got to love Zoom. All right. Tell me if you saw this one. Let me raise up the volume and. Hello, everybody. Good evening. It's been a long day. I'm proud to report that our flag. Oops, sorry. There we go.
It's okay.
Hit play. Flag is still up at the police station. But here I am at City Hall, and the flag is still up. Well, it looks like someone forgot to lock it. So I might have had a friend on the inside that unlocked it, but that's okay. Don't know how we do this exactly.
You're initiative.
I've never lowered a flag before, so I don't know the proper steps. I guess you're supposed to take it all the way down before you take it up. Wasn't aware. So to any vets, anyone seeing this, my apologies. Please give me grace on this one.
Okay.
What sickens me is I got to give JB Pritzker a shout out here, but here we go. Okay. You do not mess with the American flag. You do not mess with the order of the president. Hell, you don't even mess with the order of JB Pritzker. The flag is now at half-mast, Aurora. The flag is at half-mast, where it belongs. John, you're a coward, and you're a communist. Thoughts?
Nice. That was good. Well put.
Man,
I like that. Yeah, that was good.
this guy had the nerve to go to the Daily Herald. There's a few more of them videos. He goes, I don't know why some private citizen takes it upon himself to go on government property and touch a flag. First of all, punk, that's the people's property.
Right.
And secondly, if you're going to be an anti-American communist scumbag, I'm sorry, but people need to stand up and say, nope, not on our watch. That time
Exactly.
for that is done, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So my one of the biggest things I wanted to do here with you in this invitation, I know you got your work cut out for you in Chicago. In fact, we had one of Brandon Johnson's family members on one of our first episodes who understands
Oh,
his oh yeah, his lid capacity is that maybe of an alderman or a mayor of a tiny tiny little town. Even his own people that he's grown up with are like, this guy has no business running a city like this. Doesn't know what he's doing.
mm,
Black guy comes
right,
in and says, I'm going to take care of the black people, and then dumps a ton of illegal immigrants on top of them and says, all of you now fight for
right,
resources. What?
right, right.
I've heard
It's
of a phrase
ridiculous.
Uncle Tom before, which is the guy is definitely not. But there's got to be a phrase that we come up with for the reverse of it. How are you as a black guy or a Hispanic, a member of any minority group, stand up and say you're going to stand up for your people and then crap on them with others? Like it's boggling my mind, bro. What are you seeing out there? What are the
It's
people on the
crazy.
street saying?
In 2023, we had a press conference in the Roseland neighborhood. They wanted to put a migrant shelter at 115th and Halsted. And we fought like hell for the black community that the migrants wouldn't come in there because that area, that Jewel parking lot, was
Right,
supposed to be for uh, homes, retirement homes for the
right.
people within the area. That's what they were going to build. Then the alderman, 21st Ward Mosley, who is a big pal of the mayor, wanted to put migrant shelters there. Well, we had a big fight. What happened was we had a few press conferences. We had one in front of Mosley's office. I kid you not. It was all aired on TV. And then we put an injunction against the city of Chicago. And then we called environmental services, and then they did all kinds of work on the ground. And lo and behold, they found this huge gas tank that's underneath the ground in that old Jewel parking lot that no one knew about it for over 50 years. So obviously, they can't build migrant shelters when there's a gas tank underneath the ground, literally not too far from the surface, you know? So they said, okay, nix
That
that
could have
idea.
blew
So
up.
yeah. So we fought in certain areas all throughout Chicago not to have migrant shelters. So now what the city of Chicago is doing, what Mayor Brandon Johnson is doing, they're mixing in illegal immigrants, illegals in Section 8 housing. So they're going into Section 8
I worked
housing
for Aurora,
just like
Colorado pretty well.
yeah, yeah. So you don't know who's coming in your Section 8, you know? And it's they're what they're doing is they're aiding and abetting. They're harboring illegals away from ICE. They're doing everything they can so they can vote for Democrats in the next election. The governor already gave these people driver's licenses. And now he also said it's okay, illegal citizens, you can apply to be a law enforcement officer in Illinois. He passed that
Shut
bill too.
up.
Yeah, look it up. He
No,
did.
bro.
Yes, yes. So they're treated like American citizens. It doesn't make any sense. All these people should be thrown in jail. The governor should be thrown in jail. The mayor should be thrown in jail. There should be federal indictments across the board. What's going on in Chicago, and the aldermen are in on it too. And some of the supposed Republican aldermen, there's no such thing, by the way. There's no
Right.
such thing. They're in on it too. People praise Nick Sposato, for instance, the 38th Ward Alderman. Nick Sposato is no Republican. Nick Sposato allowed illegals.
Here it is.
Are you still there, Danny?
Yeah, yeah, buddy. I'm here.
He allowed illegals to go into Wright College. Wright College in 2023. Aldermen, they could say to the mayor, no, I don't want these illegals coming to my neighborhood. I don't want them to come in the 38th Ward. They have that say, but he had no backbone. He allowed the mayor to do what he wanted. And we had this big old fight at Wright College, you know, until like a week later,
I'm
whatever.
I'm I'm sorry to stop you. I really didn't want. The aldermen in Chicago have the authority and power to refuse that.
They do. They do because there was other aldermen that said, no, I don't want a migrant shelter in my area. Okay. The 11th Ward alderwoman, I forget her name, she's a Chinese lady, said that I don't want this migrant shelter in the area. And then the mayor didn't do anything. They do have a lot of say within their area. Yes, they do.
Dude,
Um,
then these people, Alderwoman Nicole Lee, that's her name, Nicole Lee. Uh,
thank you. That's her name.
If that's the case, then I got to ask you, as a boots on the ground activist, why are we not insanely putting a lot more pressure on aldermen?
Well, part of the problem is most people don't understand Chicago politics, how it actually works, and that's nothing against the average person. They don't know how
Right.
it functions. They don't know where each alderman leans to a Democrat or Republican because it's all nonpartisan. So they have this blanket covering them. That's another thing. So if you're not astute when it comes to Chicago politics, you're not going to know where they lean. You're not going to know who's the kiss asses, who's the guys that speak up. Napatano for the 41st Ward, he's a good guy. He speaks up. Okay, he's one of the few. Napatano. People want to push him for mayor, but he's like, I don't want none of that jazz. Forget about it. You know what I mean? Stop. You know, he's one of the few. But
About
you got 50 aldermen, and a lot of them are socialists, pure socialists. I'm telling you. Vasquez in the 40th Ward is a socialist. 33rd Ward, Rosanna, she's a socialist. 49th Ward, Maria Haddon, she's a socialist. Pure socialist, not a Democrat, a socialist. They're out of the
so
ballpark.
I think what you and I need to do, because I'm pretty good with graphics, we should make couple sets of very simple graphics. The problem, first of all, Republicans, stop putting 16 paragraphs on a flyer. No one's reading that stuff, okay?
No one.
Short, sweet, to the point, and then they're bullet points. Think of this as like sales. You're going to sell a product, you put its bullet points, and then you get to, that's what draws the client in, so you can explain everything. So maybe we should start
Exactly.
making some graphics and literally lay out who everyone is and what they really stand for. What's your
Exactly.
what's your opinion on Raymond Lopez?
Raven
He's
Lopez, he
actually
allowed.
agreed to be on my show, but we've just been trying to coordinate a day because that guy's busy. So,
Yeah, I think he's coming around. He's a Democrat. Don't let that nonpartisan title fool
no,
you.
no,
He's a
he's
Democrat.
definitely a Democrat. I'm with you, but I
Yeah,
like the
but
fact that he
he's not a
actually,
woke Democrat. He's not a
right,
woke Democrat.
right.
So he's one of the guys that's in the middle. He might have voted for Trump. Maybe you should ask him on the show, did you vote for Trump? That'll be a great question.
That's
You
a good
know?
point. I will. I got to assume
Okay.
something along those lines, considering he stood up and said, to Pritzker and Johnson, "Shut up, get the National Guard here." Are you crazy that we don't have crime? What's wrong with you people?
Yeah.
Blew me
Yeah.
away. That blew me away. I went on freaking Google, got his phone number to his office, called immediately. And to his staff member, Mark, let me make something very clear to you, Mark. You're a good dude. You are. Okay. I called in hot. That guy handled me beautifully. Mark, you're a good dude, buddy.
Yeah.
Man, as we get ready to wrap this up, I want you to give us a final thought here because it's
Sure.
obviously clear Republicans need to knock it off with the BS and start moving towards a one solid piece unit. There's guys
Yeah.
like myself. There's folks like Andrew Laladio in Kane County. There's folks like Eric Tro. There's folks like Mike Costello. There's a big force going out here in the burbs because of all
Right.
the crime in Chicago that all these damn lefties moved out here. What is a piece of advice that you would give as someone that's been in the streets, someone that's been targeted, someone that actually gets up in people's face? What's a piece of advice you can give to people to one, invigorate them and get them to really understand the concept of there is no fear that can exist worse than the fear of God? He's the only one that should be feared.
Amen.
How do we get them up and get them to stop being afraid of what people are going to say about them if they put their opinions out there? What's your advice?
Always speak up. Don't worry what the other people is going to say because they're going to censor you. They're going to cancel you. We only live one life. We got to make it work. We got to make a difference. We have to make a difference for others. That's been my motto my whole life. Others. What we can do for other people. We can fight for other people because we are their voice. Then no one is going to win on our side. Conservatives must win because we are the good. It's good versus evil. Okay,
Yes,
plain and
that's where it's
simple.
at.
Democrats are evil people. They very much are. They believe in killing babies. They believe in raising taxes and defunding the police. They hate the police, and we need to speak up for our future, just like Charlie Kirk was doing all throughout his career in activism. He was speaking up for the people that can't speak up in college. We need to be that. All of us have a little bit of Charlie Kirk in us. And I think more than ever after that, horrendous situation that happened. We should speak up more so than ever. We should speak up and just lead a future generation to conservatism, because this cancel culture cannot beat us. They can't. They can't. When Charlie Kirk
Can't
went down,
and won't.
that was the time for all of us to speak up. If you didn't speak up much before, you should speak up more now. If you thought that you spoke up a lot, speak up more. Just keep speaking up. Just keep talking about conservatism and Christianity and just leading people the right way. Family values, all of that should be important to people. We can't let that die.
Amen.
No way.
Patrick, listen, man, I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. Um, I got to tell you, I got a battle here in Aurora, and we're fighting. But this coalition, this movement that we're all creating together, this is it's got to be made a tour. We got to start in Chicago by you. We got to go out to the burbs. We have to go to Kane, Kendall, DuPage, Will, all these counties, and start blowing them
Amen.
up. So seriously, man, I wanted to say this to you, and I hope you let me pray on you here for a moment. Dear God, I pray that you give Patrick as much strength as he needs to endure. I pray you touch his heart to give him compassion to his own side that needs the advice and direction. I implore you, Lord, to give this man the strength and leadership to not just stand up, but to lead and to do. And really, to everybody in the state of Illinois and our beautiful country, we say a prayer to not only for all of you guys, but to really embolden you. The Bible is a beautiful thing, but I want everybody to go back and read the story of David and Goliath. We are all David. We are all David here, and Goliath is about to get his proverbial ass kicked.
Yes. Amen.
Mr. Gibbons, thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, another quick episode here of the Aurora Township Republican Central Committee. My name is Danny Souri. We thank you guys for being with us, and we're going to see you very soon, Mr. Gibbons.
All right. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Take care.